Most people think that research is something only scientists or college students do in big fancy labs. But today, more and more high school students want to try out research and publish their research papers, not just to boost their college applications, but to experience what real science feels like. But the problem is they don't know where to begin. Hi everyone, I am Neha Agrawal. I'm the founder of WiseUp, and in this video I'm going to show you how to start doing meaningful research right away as a high school student. I will also show you the step-by-step process of publishing your own research paper, something very few students are able to achieve at this age. Finally, I will also share some powerful AI tools that you can utilize to speed things up and work more efficiently. So without further delay, let's get started. Now the first thing you need to understand is, what does research actually mean? Most students think research means going up on the internet, reading a lot of blogs and articles on a particular topic and consolidating all that information into a nice report. But research does not mean reading what is already out there and summarizing it. Research means solving a real problem or exploring something no one has ever done before. I know that sounds intimidating. You would think, I'm just a high school student. How am I supposed to discover something that qualified researchers haven't done before? But what you need to understand is research actually starts with small, curious questions. You don't need a fancy lab or a PhD to do meaningful research. Even testing how natural materials behave, building your own simple experiments at home, or finding patterns in data, that can be research. And that is exactly where you start. So don't let the word research scare you. Let it excite you. So now that you know what research actually means, let's talk about how you can start doing research as a high school student. So the first thing to do is pick a field that interests you. It could be computer science, biology, chemistry, psychology, anything you're genuinely curious about. But what you need to understand is that these fields can be really broad. Simply saying I like computer science or I want to do research in computer science is not enough. Computer science itself has a lot of subfields. For example, data science, cybersecurity, web or app development, game development, artificial intelligence. Similarly, biology also has a lot of subfields like genetics, neuroscience, microbiology, plant science, etc. So what you need to do is go a bit deeper, narrow down your interest, and then choose a specific area that excites you the most. Now that you finalized a specific area, the next thing is to actually conduct research. And here again you would think, but I don't have a fancy lab, I don't have sophisticated equipments. How do I do research? Well, there are two options. Option one is computer-based research. This is something you can do entirely from your home or your school computer lab. For example, you can build a simple coding project or app, analyze a publicly available data set, for example, climate change data, sports stats, or social media trends. You can run a simulation on a free software, and you can design and conduct an online survey and then analyze the research. All of these are considered as valid research and they don't require any fancy lab or equipment at all. Now, option two is low-tech experimental research. This research requires simple materials that you will find in your home or school. For example, testing how different fabrics absorb heat, grow plant under different light conditions, or measure the effect of temperature on battery life. These are small but real experiments and they are all part of scientific research. So now that we know which area interests us and what are the two options to conduct research, the next question is, how do we finalize the topic on which we will be doing our research? Well, usually what PhD students do is that they go through a lot of research papers, which is also called as literature survey, and then they try to find a gap in research. Basically, what are those issues or problems that other researchers have not been able to solve so far? But as a high school student without much knowledge or guidance, this can be a bit challenging. So this is where AI tools can help you. The first tool I'd recommend is Perplexity. Simply go on Perplexity and ask, I'm a high school student. I want to conduct research in the field of material science and eco-friendly materials, but I don't have lab facility. So if I do experimental research, all the experimentation and analysis needs to be done using very simple equipment available at home or in a basic school lab. Please suggest some topics on which I can do this type of novel research. And instantly you will see Perplexity will come up with some great topic ideas for you to start your research. Similarly, you can also use Jenni AI to help you finalize the research topic. It is an AI tool catered towards researchers. Simply log into your Jenni account, go to the AI chat feature and then ask, please give me some research topic ideas on eco-friendly packaging materials, and instantly Jenni will come up with some amazing ideas for you. Once you receive some ideas, you can ask Perplexity to provide you with some research papers as well. Now, when you read these research papers, you will understand how to design the experiments, what kind of methodology you should be following, and how should you do the analysis for the data that you gather. Now, to understand these research papers better, you can again use the help of Jenni. Simply upload the paper on the platform, navigate to the library where the paper was uploaded, and then choose the AI chat option. Now you will see that the paper will open in a separate window and you can chat with it freely. For example, you can ask, what are the main claims of this study? What are some of the limitations of this work? Or really simple questions as well, such as explain this particular paragraph to me, or what does this term mean? In this way, you will not only be able to finalize your research topic, but do a basic literature review for your research as well. So after this, you would have conducted your research and gotten the results. And now it's time to write a research paper on it. Because writing a research paper is the only way to share your research with the world. Now by this time you would have already gone through some research papers as well, and you would very well know that most research papers follow the same basic structure. First is the title, then comes the abstract where you give a summary of your research paper in 150 to 250 words. After that, you write the introduction section where you explain why your research is important, what was the problem and why was this problem worth studying. Then comes the methodology where in a very recipe-like manner you explain how you have conducted your experiments. After that comes the results section where you share all the data that you have gathered in the form of tables, charts and even photos of the experiments. And then comes the discussion section. Now this is where you talk about what do your results mean. Whether the results that you've gotten, was it something that you expect, or were there any surprise observations, were there any limitations of your study? And then comes the conclusion section where you do a quick wrap up, what did you learn and what are the next steps for this study in the future? And then finally we have the references section where all the resources that you have used or referred to during your research, for example published articles, Perplexity, Jenni, ChatGPT, all these resources should be listed down. Now, if you wish to learn more on how to write a research paper, then you can check out my previous video or join my course on A to Z of research paper writing. In this course, I teach you from scratch how to choose a research topic, how to write each and every section of a research paper, what are all the AI tools that you can use to help you in the process, how to avoid plagiarism, and finally, how to get yourselves published. To know more, the link is in the description. Now, writing a research paper is a very tedious process. You need to maintain a certain level of academic tone, ensure you are not committing plagiarism, and cite all the papers properly. But now, with the AI tool Jenni, this process has become 10x faster. Now, here I would recommend that you put down all your ideas in your style of writing first. After that, you can use the help of Jenni to refine the content or make it more professional and academic. You can also use the AI commands to improve the overall text like fluency, paraphrase, simplify, make longer, etc. You can also give specific prompts based on your needs. For example, propose a better structure so that the reader can follow my arguments. Or, I'm struggling with the transition between these two paragraphs. Can you suggest a smoother transition? You can also ask, all my sentences seem to start in the same way. Can you rephrase one of them to start differently? These kind of prompts can help you tailor the content in exactly the way that you want without making the text too much AI generated. Now, while writing the paper, you can also simultaneously cite the paper that you have taken information from. One way is to go to the library and then cite the paper that you've already uploaded. Otherwise, what you can do is also search for relevant papers online based on what you've written by highlighting the text and clicking on cite. This will save you a lot of time and help you wrap up the paper quickly. Once you have cited the papers, you will also see that the references section appears at the bottom. Now you can also choose from over 17,000 citation styles including APA, MLA, Harvard, IEEE, Chicago, etc. This way you will not even need a reference manager and literally all your work will be done in one place. Once you're done writing, you can export it to LaTeX, Word or HTML. And in this way, you would have written your research paper faster and more efficiently. The best part about Jenni is that it comes at a super affordable price, which makes it worth it. And I also have a discount coupon which I have linked it in the description below for you, which will help you save further. Now that our research paper is also written, the next thing is to get it published. Now you would ask, why is publishing important? This is because an unpublished paper is as good as baking a cake and never serving it. Nobody gets to taste it or experience what it was like. Also, publishing is the only way to gain some credibility for your work and boost your profile for admissions abroad. Now, publishing in traditional journals where usually PhD students and scientists publish can be quite tricky. This is because it usually requires a college professor as a co-author, can have a very long review process time, and sometimes might not even accept papers from high schoolers. But the good thing is that there are now journals specifically where high school researchers can publish, and they are quite reputed as well. Some of them are Journal of Emerging Investigators JEI, which is run by Harvard grad students, Journal of High School Science JHSS, STEM Fellowship Journal, Curious Academic Journal, and the Concord Review. In fact, for students based in India, you can also look for local competitions such as the IRIS National Fair or publish in platforms like the INSC Young Researcher. So guys, in this way, you can conduct your research in high school and even publish your research papers successfully. Now, if you wish to learn in detail how to write and publish a research paper, then you can join me for my course on A to Z of research paper writing. The link is in the description. And don't forget to check out Jenni and utilize it to write your papers faster and more effectively. The link and discount coupon is also given in the description. Now, thank you so much for watching this video and I wish you have a fantastic career ahead.